Heavenly Father, we just thank you right now for what you're going to do, Father God. I thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure that you use a old wretch like me. Thank you, Jesus, right now. I pray that the words of my mouth, Father God, be your words, Father God. The thoughts that run through my mind, Father God, be your thoughts, Father God. I ask you to cover me in the name of Jesus. I pray that whatever you have for us today, that will be effective, Father God. I pray that you move everything out of the way, Father God, that is not of you right now. That each and every one of us will be fed through your word, Father God, not through me, Father God, for that I am this old, filthy, dirty rag, Father God, that you chose to use today. I thank you right now, Father God. Lord Jesus, we just thank you that you came down on this earth. We want to give you your honor and your praise today. We want to lift you up, because if it was not for you, we would not be here today. We would not be in our right minds today. And we just thank you right now. In Jesus Christ's name, we give you the praise and glory and the honor. Let's give God some love this morning. Let's thank him for Jesus this morning. Let's thank him for Jesus this morning. Because I know it's because of grace and mercy. When I look back over my raggedy life, that it was God that allows me to stand today and look like what he made me to be. I know that it is God today, when I look out in the crowd, that has formed us and shaped us into the men and women that we were already ordained to be. We are not the things that they said that we were when we were out there. We are his children today. And that's good news. That's good news. If we can stand for the reading of the word this morning, please. We're going to come out of 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. 1 Samuel. Y'all got phones? Y'all know the routine. Let's shut them off. Unless that's the Lord calling you. Letting you know that he's on his way back. I want to talk to him. Make sure my name on the list. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. You need to hold on. Say, hold on. Hold on. Hallelujah. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. Are we ready? King James Version says, "But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." NIV says, "But the Lord said to Samuel, Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. And the topic today is, God looked beyond our faults, and he saw our needs. Look at your neighbor and say, I got some faults. I got some flaws. And I know you see them come out sometimes. So don't judge me, because God is still working on me. Hallelujah. He is still working on me. You know, one thing that I have been learning since I've been in the covering of our pastors is I love the dictionary now. It's good. The Strong's is wonderful, if you want me to get technical. It breaks down some words and you'd be like, what? What? Really? But what I found when I looked at the word beyond, it says on the far side of, to the degree that is past the understanding. We can't even see that far. We can only probably see down the street a couple blocks, and then that's it. Everything starts to fade away. It says that which is past, or to a degree greater than knowledge or experience, the unknown. I know that we hear people say, but God is the unknown. He's just the unknown. No, he's not. We just can't look beyond our eyes at just a short distance vision in them. We just can't look beyond sometimes like he can. But the word fault said, which I was shocked because I ended up coming up on this thing on Google, that had 123 faults. After I read about 10 or 15 of them, I stopped because I saw myself in about all of them. And I said, oh my goodness, I got flaws. Who am I to look at you? But fault says a defect or imperfection, flaw, failing, lack, weakness. An unattractive or unsatisfactory feature, especially in a piece of work or someone's character. We can put a pin in that right now. We can just ask God to forgive us right now for everything and everybody we have judged. Because we are not flawless. We have faults. And God looked beyond our faults and he sees our needs. When we become Christians, or some of us that are in recovery, that for my husband pointed this out to him, so I'm going to give him his, Pastor Greg, I'm going to give him his accolades. He helped this old girl out with this one. But when he said it to me, I said, that makes so much sense. Because when we become Christians, there's something that happens. And those that are going through recovery, there's something that happens in that first few days. You start feeling a little better. You get some food in you. When we become Christians, there's something, the Spirit starts to take over us. The Spirit is woken up in us. We start feeling a little better about life. In about 30 days in our walk of recovery or our walk with God, we start standing up a little straighter and we start looking a little better, talking a little better. And about the second month, sometimes you can't tell us nothing. We got this thing now. We got it down packed. I've been clean and sober for 60 days. I've been walking with God. I'm not out in the club anymore. And I'm not doing those old things I used to do. 90 days, we lost our mind. Let's be honest about this now. See, I'm talking about myself. Because 90 days we lose our mind. We really think that we know the Word of God. We think we his best friend. We think, I'll never drink again. I'll never sin again. I'll never go back out there again. And we think we are fixed. We do. We begin to feel like we've got this thing. The beauty about God is that we will always need him. And so when we get into that frame of mind that we don't need him because we feel like our flaws and our faults have been fixed, something always comes back to remind us that we have flaws. And people are not looking beyond them. They are still seeing them because we thought we got this thing in the bag. And so God comes back and reminds us when we begin to cuss. That's a flaw. I don't know if y'all know that or not. That's a flaw. When we begin to become hateful again, that's a flaw. When we become abusive again, that's a flaw. These are flaws of ours. And God sometimes has to remind us and shake us up in the midst of it and say, there you go cussing again. Now everybody's looking at your walk with me. There you go hanging out with that crowd again on the corner. Now everybody's looking at your sobriety again. You see, now they get to question who we are. Those are called flaws. And so God has to come around sometime to knock on our door and remind us and take us back through those flaws so that he can wash and rinse us again. And so that we can remember that there was nobody that looked beyond our faults and saw our needs but him. Nobody looked beyond our faults and saw our needs. Some of us, because of where we come from and what we've been through in our lives, we pick up some unruly behaviors and characters along the way. We become things that we thought we would never become, but for some reason they become so ingrained in us. That's who we become. Some of the things that it says that we become are liars and thieves and cheaters and gossipers. We become arrogant and greedy, addictive, and we become abusive. And some of us have low self-esteem, self-destruction, anxious, absent-minded. And there's many more to come along with those. We become those things because that's the way we were taught or brought up to be. And so in the midst of that, it's easy for us to say these few words. This is who I am. Accept me. I don't know how many people say that, but I found myself even saying that when I got saved. Oh, this is just who I am. You just accept me or not. No, you have some flaws, Louia. Those are called flaws. That is not who we are. That is not who I am. I am not a liar. I'm not a thief. I'm not a cheater. I'm not those things today. I'm not a gossiper today. Sometimes I might say some things I should not say. Let me just be honest. If I want God, strike me dead. Sometimes I engage in a conversation I should not engage in. But I'm not that gossiper I used to be. That gossiper that wanted to see things happen and start it. I no longer have a dark heart. That's not who I am today. No. So I took that out of my vocabulary saying, this is who I am. Accept me. I'm going to put the Bob in it. For who I am. Accept me because I am. This is how I was made. No, we were not. No, we were not. We were made in the image of God. And because we were made in the image of God, that's what makes us flawless in His eyes. Because He sees beyond our faults. And He sees our needs. And sometimes those needs is that we just need some love. We need someone to understand us. We need someone to walk with us through the darkness. We need someone to talk to us. We need someone to listen to us. And we married that man and that woman for a reason. And we saw those flaws before we said, I do. So that means that I need to look beyond my husband's flaws. And I need to see sometimes he just needs his wife to say, you're doing a great job. Thank you for getting up and going to work. Thank you that you're a provider in the home. I love it when he says, Mommy, you look good today. Why, thank you. I love it when he comes over sometimes and he'll just touch me ever so subtle. I needed that. Sometimes he sees when I'm in my moment and I'm about ready to lose my mind. Mommy, you all right? You okay? He catches, he sees the need. He sees the need. And then in our homes, parents, I'm guilty of this. We are so short with our children today that we are not seeing the things that they are going through in school. We're not seeing the mental and emotional breakdowns that they are having, the peer pressure, the sexuality changes. We're not seeing it because all we can see is their flaws. All we're picking, you're not doing that right. Instead of a C, we can't appreciate the C no more. It should have been an A. We can't appreciate the C. So we beat them down. We browbeat them down. Our children, they go out, they have ambitions and dreams. They want to go play ball. They want to go do some things. But every time they get to the court, you're not throwing the ball right, Junior. You're not doing that right. Our daughters are going out for dance lessons and for ballet. And as soon as they're done, you didn't get it right because you're 5 pounds overweight. Let's be honest about these things. These things are happening in the world that we find the flaws in our children and we are destroying their dreams and their hopes. We're impatient with them. And 9 times out of 10 we have this behavior because we have flaws in our lives that we have not yet given to God, that we have not yet been honest about. And so because they resonate on us all day long, we are able to look at other people's flaws to make ours look a little bit better. A little bit better. If I can judge you because you are a murderer, then me being a liar makes it okay. But God says if you committed one sin, so nobody can say because you are a liar, a cheater, and because I only lie on Saturday, but you lie Monday through Sunday. No, we all have flaws. Now, the beauty of flaws is this. We get an opportunity to give them to God. We give an opportunity to either hold on to them, feel good about them, live with them, love them, eat with them, sleep with them, wake up with them. That's a choice. Or we can give them to God. We can give our lies to God. We can give our hurts to God, our pains to God. We can give our abusiveness to God. We can give these things back to God and ask Him to make us and instill in us what our purpose is supposed to be anyway. And when we give those flaws back to God, and first of all, you got to be honest about it. That's the first thing. You got to go to God and say, God, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I'm a cheater. Always gossiping. I'm a backbiter. God, I got some flaws in me because this is all I knew. This is what I grew up to be. This is all I saw. This is all I heard. So you got to go to God and you got to get honest about who we are. He already knows. But when there's something about when we say it to Him, isn't it? It's just something when we just go to Him and say, God, I was wrong. I'm wrong. Let me just be honest and say, God, I'm wrong. I'm so wrong for that. I'm so wrong for treating that person like that. I was just wrong. There's something about emptying out that spirit of ours, that ugliness of ours to Him and giving it to Him that makes Him, just me, I could just see Him say, it's about time. Now I can work with you. Now I can do some things in your life because you've come to me and you told me that you are messed up. I don't have this thing yet, God. I'm missing the recipe. I need some salt and some pepper in my soup. I need a little Lori seasoning in my soup. I need you to flavor me up, Jesus. I need you to take these flaws that are not mine. You see, flaws come because we see them in somebody else. We hear them. In our homes, we see our parents. That's just the way they are in their marriage. We see our fathers beating their wives, our mothers. We see our mothers cheating. We see our fathers cheating. We see these things. We see the drug dealers. We see the prostitution. We see the alcoholics. We see the addicts. We see these things. And so some of these things become instilled in us and they become our flaws. They become our flaws because they're called curses. It's just a curse. But does that mean we have to stay in the curse? Do we have to stay there? Has God not given us a choice to turn it all over to Him, to give everything to Him? Don't you want to shine as God's children? Aren't you tired of being a gossiper? Aren't you tired of being a cheater? Aren't you tired of being slothful? Aren't you tired of being a liar, a thief? Aren't you tired? There's got to come a time we got to get tired of being the way that we are. We got to get tired of thinking the way we think, the way we act, dressing the way we want to dress, talk the way we want to talk. There's got to come a time we want to change our flaws. I was looking at my nephew. I was talking to my husband last night. I said, we are responsible for this child's character because his character will reflect on how we raised him. It will. The character of our children will reflect on what type of home they came from. And that's real. And so, in the midst of that, God showed me that we need to start changing some things that we do. See, because sometimes our children are difficult. Can we be honest about that? Sometimes they can get difficult, and sometimes we are so impatient because we don't know how to deal with that situation. And we have a nephew, we call him a son, we've had him since he was 2 weeks old. His name is Jaden. He's not here today, he's with his other side of the family. But Jaden can take us from 0 to 150 in 3 seconds. 3 seconds! He can walk around the whole house and have everybody up in an uproar and go sit down and watch SpongeBob. All right now. Like he ain't did nothing, said nothing. But that's Jaden. we react to him is what's going to count. So when I get mad and say, look, boy, go sit down, please. You are driving me crazy. Lord have mercy, Jesus. When he sees me do that, he says, she ain't got no control. I took it all from her. I snatched all of her control from her right now. I'm serious about that. But when I approach him and say, baby, don't do that. Now we've asked you over and over. Don't do that. Don't talk like that. You're better than that. When the words of encouragement starts coming out the mouth, then we defeat the devil. Then you become a deer in the headlight, like, what? Hold on, that's not the response I wanted. What happened to that anger that comes out so quickly? And that only comes when we go to God and say, God, I'm angry. See, I could be honest one day and say, God, I'm angry. Because that's what I came from. I came from angry parents. Everything I did, everything I said, I always got an angry response from them. So I developed that in my spirit, and I was an angry child, an angry woman. And I see that, and I've been praying about it. Y'all pray for me. But that is a flaw. That is one of my faults that I struggle with. And it does not matter how long you have been a Christian. It does not matter how long you have served God. You've got some faults. You've got some flaws up in you. And until you get honest about them, you're going to stunt your growth. You're not going to be able to move forward to tell somebody else, you don't have to be angry no more because I went to God and God fixed that thing in me. And when I saw the ugly, and when I see the ugly coming, now I have to go quickly and say, Jaden, I'm so sorry that I lost my temper with you. I'm sorry, I was wrong. And you know what that child says to me? That's okay, mommy. That's okay. Even though he calls that. That's okay, mommy. But this is the part that gets me. I love you. I still love you. I'm like, oh, Jesus. 5 minutes later, here we go again. Because he knows that's my flaw. And when people know your weakness, and they can push your button, they know your flaws, and you allow them to know them, you're in trouble. Because what that means is that Satan still has an opportunity to misguide and misdirect you back to who you were, not meant to be. That's Satan's moment right there. Every time I lose my temper, yesterday I almost cussed, and I'm not a cusser. Anybody can tell you I'm not a cusser. I don't like all that boisterous stuff. But yesterday I got so angry because this week has been hectic. We got to move, we haven't found a house yet, and we got to get out of the house we're in now on Tuesday. But because I have faith, I know God has made a way. So I just keep doing what I'm supposed to do. I just keep Googling house after house after house after house. But this little boy decided to try me. He broke my iPad, shattered it. And my first response was, what were you thinking about? Quickly. I did not see the fact, you got insurance on an iPad, girl, what are you talking about? That can be fixed. When I looked over, he was in tears because I had snapped out because everything that, all the weights of the weekend just, boom, that was it. That was the straw that broke his back. And I looked over and I became ashamed that I am 48 years old and this child is 8 and I am still growing. I'm still growing. God is still working on me. And because he can see beyond my faults, he knows my needs. And my need is patience. That's what I need. I need more patience and understanding and tolerance. That's what I need. And because he can see that, he can work on me every time I get to that point where I want to get angry, he can tap me on the shoulder and say, ho, 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 wait a minute. Call up on me. Call up on me. Stop and think. The Bible says get angry, but do not sin. It says get angry. You get angry. Come on, we got that right. We're human. But do not sin. And when we act upon those flaws, those sins, we give power to them. So we've got to get to a place where we stop giving power to those flaws and to our faults. We've got to get to a place where we truly want to get rid of all of that. We got to get to a place in our marriage where we look at our husbands and our wives and we say, that's okay. That's how, I understand that's what you're going through right now. What is the need in the marriage? We got to get to a place where we can look at our children. We can say, what is the need of our children? We've got to get to the place in our lives where we can just understand that we cannot fix ourselves. Because if we could, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. If I could fix myself a long time ago, I would not be standing here. I'd be flawless. But I only become that way. We only become that way in the eyes of God. And we thank God for that he looks beyond our faults and he sees our needs, because we are the apple of his eye. We are. That's why it's in Jesus. That's why it's in Jesus. So Jesus can handle all that other stuff, while God just looks at us and says, there they go, look at my beautiful children. Just look at them. They look so good. Look what I created. Oh my goodness, my children. While Jesus is working 24/7 to keep us looking like that in his eyes. 24/7. The Spirit is on his job 24/7 to keep us looking flawless in the eyes of God. And that's where we need to be at in our lives. We need to be on our jobs 24/7. Because Satan is on his 24/7. 24/7. He never rests. I don't know about you, but sometimes he wakes me up in the middle of the night. I know it's him sometimes, and I know it's God sometimes. Sometimes you got to know who it is. Because when God wakes me up, I immediately start praying. Praying. And when that bugger comes and knocks on my door, I start worrying about something. I'm like, oh, wait, well, I know that ain't God. I know he woke me up at 3 o'clock so I can pray for somebody across the sea or something in the desert or something. I know that's what. But when that bugger wakes me up, because we know he's on his job. And so that people, we have to be on our jobs. We got to be on alert. We got to get encouragement in our heart. We got to get understanding in our heart. We got to become just a little bit more patient with one another. Because when we can break the barriers and we can depend on God to walk with us through those midnight hours and through those things that we are still struggling with in our lives. Some of us are still struggling with addictions, sexual addictions, drinking, smoking marijuana. Some of us are still struggling with cussing. Some of us are struggling still with these flaws and it's stunting our growth. This is our opportunity, people, for us to be encouraging to one another. When we see our brothers and our sisters struggling, that's our moment. That's our cue right there. But God, thank you that you're going to use me right now to go over there and tell this brother and this sister it's going to be all right. Thank you right now, God, that you are going to be able to let me come over here and hold my sister's hand because I see she's going through something right now. Hallelujah. That's what we have to get to the point. We got to see beyond each other's flaws and see the needs. We got to see beyond our flaws and see the needs. Men, we need to see beyond the flaws of other men so that you can be encouraging to one another. Women, we need to quit being jealous of one another so that we can see beyond our flaws and see the needs. Let us start helping one another, encouraging one another, lifting each other up, picking up each other off the floor when we see us falling. The church today has so many flaws in it. The church. We have so many flaws that we are missing. We are missing the point. We are missing the hurt and the pain in the church. We are missing the broken in the church. We have so many flaws in the church. Can't nobody hear the word of God. Can't nobody get saved. Can I just be honest? It's just us church people. It's just us in these 4 walls and godless. That's it. But that was one of the last things that God shared with me. You know, my church is broken because we keep judging one another. You're so interested in my shoes that you can't see my black eye. You're so interested in my weave that you can't see that I lost all my children. You're so interested in my suit that you can't see this is all I got to wear. I can wear the church 3-4 times in a row now. The church is broken because we refuse to see beyond the faults and the flaws and see the needs of God's people. I know that because I used to be one of those people that judged everybody because I wasn't right with myself. Number one, can I just be honest? That's where that stems from. When there's something going on with us, we've got to find something going on with you. We have to. But the church is broken. You know who God's coming back for, right? He's coming back for his people. That's why he made a heaven and he made a hell. Can we be honest about it? Let's just be honest about that thing. He made a heaven and he made a hell. And if you think I'm lying, Jesus went down. Did Jesus not go down and get the keys and preach? Did he not go down there? He went down there. The church is broken, and this is where it starts, is with God's people. We are supposed to be the light and the salt of the earth. We are supposed to be the ones that when people look at us, they say, there's something about you that I want to know about. We should be shining. We should be glowing in spite of our flaws. Because God sent someone one day and knocked on our door. Sent someone on the corner one day and gave us a word. He saw beyond our faults and he saw our needs. We have got to see the needs of one another. How many people in here spoke to somebody in the church this week? Girl, you and I, we just been speaking. I spoke about 7 of y'all. I'm serious about that. How many people in this house said, let me check on my brother or my sister this week? How many people had somebody on their mind because they remember last Sunday they were up at the altar needing prayer? There was a need at the altar last Sunday. How many people picked up the phone and said, brother, how you doing this week? Are you still going through that thing? Has your prayer been answered? Sister, how are you feeling this week? That's how the church will strengthen the church. That's how the church will strengthen one another. When you pick up the phone or you text, send an email, send a pigeon if you need to. It don't matter how you get there. But do it. Because that strengthens us. It takes some power away from the devil. See, if he can keep us divided, he's winning. But if we stay together and we strengthen one another and we encourage one another out of those faults and out of those flaws, he's got a hard time trying to get in, don't he? He'll have a hard time trying to wiggle his way in. He'll be like, excuse me. Give me 10 people come up. Just 10 people to come up and get real close. Get real close. Just get real close. 10 people. Come on, you good. We're almost done. I told you I ain't been long-winded. 10 people, just huddle together. You two. Come on, Jackie. Come on, sister. Just get together. No, get together. Huddle together. Huddle. It's football time. This Dallas time. That's Cowboy time. Now, you say that over there. Stop that now. You need to start that. Get a little tight. You see, this is unity right here. This unity. This is unity. Solid. It's solid. And so when Satan tries to that's unity. And that's how we should be with one another. Thank you. That's how we should be fighting the good fight with one another. See, when a church is strong, we can go out. We can evangelize. We can go out. We can tell somebody about God. We can go out. We can tell that broken person it's going to be all right. I know you're struggling in this area. I know that you got some things going on in your life. But when a church has unity, we are strong, we are one. We can go out and we can fight and we can defeat the flaws of addiction. We can defeat the flaws of gossiping. We can defeat the flaws of abuse. We can defeat the flaws of low self-esteem. We can defeat the flaws. We have got to get to a place where we want to defeat the devil. We need to start looking beyond the faults of people and see the needs of one another. And sometimes don't be afraid to tell somebody that you're in need. See, sometimes we forget to tell somebody, you know, let me just go and be honest and tell you, you know what? I need you to pray for me because I'm still struggling in this area right here. Satan has just been on my heels. I can't get him out of my house. I can't get him out of my heart. I can't get him out of my mind. He's just been on me. It's okay to call one another and tell each other, I'm struggling. Pray with me. Pray for me. That's another way that we defeat the devil. I had to defeat the devil in my house these past couple of days. We're getting ready to move, as I was sharing with you guys, and my mother-in-law lives with us, and she's been with us for a while now. And something had happened, and I went into my room and I began to weep and I began to wail, and I said, God, what just happened right now? And he said, you didn't look beyond the fault and see the need. And I was very sad about that, because she is my mother-in-law. She has been good to me. We are friends. She is my backbone. I do mean that. She is a backbone. I can get up, come out of my room from working, and things are done. She is my backbone. And God said, Laria, because you're so wrapped up in Laria and what's going on right now, you didn't look beyond and see the need. And I was grateful for that, because the situation got fixed immediately. Mama, where are you going? There's no reason for you to go live with anybody else. What do you mean you're going somewhere else to live? No. We're going to work through this thing. We're going to work this thing out. God has already got it worked out. I couldn't imagine you not living in the house with us, Mom. That would break my heart. You're my backbone. I had to let her know you're my backbone. Sometimes we got to get our pride up off our shoulders, let people know that we love them, let them know that we care about them. Sometimes we got to come out of that. Take that pride away. I had to let her know. I said, no, let me just tell you right now. Let me just say it. And before it was over, we were embracing one another as we always do. Because my mother-in-law and I know how to defeat the devil. This ain't our first rodeo. But the beauty is that not only do we defeat the devil, we know how to talk to one another. The way that we talked to, in the beginning, there was no rough. And we had our rough, but you know how mothers and daughter-in-laws get. We got that little thing going on. Well, I am married to your son. I know that you his mama, but I'm the wife. We go through that. Let us be honest. We might not say it, but our actions will surely show it. Mothers will be like, well, that's my son. That came up out of my womb. And, well, the Bible did tell him to leave his mother and wife and leave. His mother and wife leave to his wife. We start trying to get spiritual sometimes. Let me just be honest about it. Let me just be honest about that thing. But praise God that my mother-in-law and I can look beyond each other's faults. Because she can look beyond my faults. Because sometimes I get a little snip, a little knitting. I just be, my little self. But she can look beyond that. and she can see my needs. She'll come in and she say, baby, you're hungry? You've been in here working all day long. You ain't ate nothing. Yes, I am. Thank you, Mama. Or she'll just bring something in there. She sees beyond what's going on in my life. And that's called a connection. It's called a bond. That's called Satan came in and he gave with Leah no. That's what that's called. And that's what we should have with one another. In the house, outside of the house. We should not be affected. That's right, unity. That's what God tells us to have. One another. We cannot do this by ourselves. And if you think you can, we'll be waiting for you to come back and tell us your testimony. How God had to whoop you and bring you back. Because it's going to happen. So if you think to yourself that you can make this journey by yourself, we just stopped by to tell you today that's not going to happen. Because you are not flawless. Praise God. God is good. And all the time, God is good. It has been a pleasure. It has been an honor. I pray that something was said today that we can chew on for the week, that we can, when we go home. You know one of the best ways to see your flaws is go look in the mirror. Go stand in the mirror. Try to stand there for 5 minutes and then start talking to yourself and say, ooh. That's what you do. One day I went in my bathroom and looked in my mirror and began to cry. I saw my reflection. I saw the angry woman that I was. I saw her. I saw her. And I could say, you're an angry woman. And then I began to play out the angry things that I would say or do or act. I would do the facial expressions. And then I really saw the ugly. I was like, that's how I look when I'm angry? That's how I sound when I'm angry? That's me? The child of God, that the woman that loves Jesus, the woman that studies in her word, the woman that prays and weeps in her closet? That's how I look? I got some flaws. I need to get back in my closet and pray for them. I'm praying for everything else but myself. You know, you got to be able to pray for yourself or you can pray for somebody else. How can I love you if I don't love myself? God said, how can you love me who you have never seen? You ain't never seen me, but you're talking about you love me, but you can't love the one that I put right next to you. How can you? How can you? But that is one of the best ways if you really want to get honest with yourself. Go home. Shut the bathroom door because you don't want to embarrass yourself. I'm telling you, you don't want nobody to walk in on you. Maybe like, what's wrong with you? You're talking to yourself like that. Why are you doing all that expression? I'm praying for you. But go home and look in the mirror and ask God, what am I not seeing about me that is not pleasing in your sight? What am I not seeing? What am I being blind to? Give me your eyesight. Give me your ears that I may hear you. Show me where I'm broken at. Show me where I need you at. Show me, Lord. Humiliate me, embarrass me. So I can become humble. Go home and look in your mirror. Go home and record yourself. You will see and hear the ugly like it's never been seen and heard before. And that is real. You will see it. You will hear it. And that right there should be enough to want to change it. That right there should be enough to want to call upon the name of Jesus and say, change this old heart of mine. Change this old mind of mine. Change these old ways of mine. I don't want to walk like that. I don't want to look like that. When you see me, when you see me, sister, I want you to say, every time I see you, girl, you just be shining and glowing with the Spirit all over you. What's your secret? I'm glad you asked. It's Jesus. It's Jesus. We can take no credit for our lives today. We can take no credit, none, for the fixing of our lives today, for the healing of our hearts today, for the healing and the renewing of our minds today. We can take no credit. It is all given to God. It is all given to Jesus. It is His and His alone. That's why He has chosen us, because He looked beyond our faults and He saw our needs. He saw that we were warriors. He saw that we were children of God. He saw that we could be used in His service. He saw that we could love on somebody that was broken. See, He saw all this in us. That's why He can look beyond our faults and He can see our needs. That's why we can be used today the way we are being used. How many people want to be used by Jesus? How many people want to be used by Jesus? How many people can just be honest right now and stand to your feet and say, I got some flaws? How many people just get up on their feet and say, I got some flaws? Look at your neighbor and say, pray for me. Pray with me. And I'm going to pray for you. Hallelujah. Let's give Jesus some glory today. Let's give God some glory today. That there's nobody like Him that can fix us up and turn us around and place our feet on solid ground in spite of who we are, what we have done, or what we are going through, or what we're still going to go through. There's nobody like Jesus that can see beyond our faults and see our needs. We ought to be grateful that He chose us. We ought to be grateful that He looked at us and said, I don't care that you are gospel. I don't care that you cuss. Come on, Peter cussed. Peter had a flower. Peter cussed, you had to sing it. That didn't matter to God. He needed Peter. He needed Peter to go do some things for Him, Peter. I know you cussed. Let's get technical. He even used Saul, did He not? He used Saul's flaws. They became Paul, did He not? He used them. He looked beyond what he was thinking, what he was doing, how he was acting. He said, I know you're acting crazy, but I need you to get over here and do some things for me. Because I can look beyond your crazy and see your need. He used Judas, did He not? He used Judas' flaws. Let's get real technical. He used Judas was a murderer. Come on now, let's use them flaws. That's some flaws right there when you got murderous flaws going through your spirit and in your heart. But God looked beyond that and let him walk with Jesus anyway. Yes, He did. He looked beyond that. Because there was still a need somewhere. Because was He not mournful after He saw what He had done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? We have to remember God will use us. We are usable today. You know, just like when we became employable today. You remember that moment when you became employable? When you could walk in and fill out an application and you felt good about it? Because you're employable today. Well, we're usable today. We're usable today. If I can just close with this, you guys may sit. Thank you so much. I don't know about you, but whew, in that scripture in 1 Samuel 16:7, it says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature. I was sharing with my husband, I was trying to give him an analogy or something. I said, you know, people go for an interview. There's a man that goes in for an interview and He has all his degrees with him. He's feeling good about himself. He's been to Harvard. He's got his doctrines. He came in, though, with a polo shirt. Came in with just some, some slacks, some slide-ons, some loafers. Because he knew he had a job. You couldn't tell him that he didn't have a job because he brought all his credentials with him. That's what he did. But then there was somebody else waiting out there waiting to be interviewed for the same position. This person came in their best. They came humble. They wanted that job. They know they needed that job. But they looked at the first person that went in because all he was talking about on the cell phone was, I got this man. When they see all these doctors, I got all these degrees, I got all these masters, I got all these colleges I went to, I got this thing. And the person that was sitting next to him was like, Lord, I ain't got none of that. But a high school diploma. And I came in my best, though, Lord, and I brought you with me. He said, because I have refused him. I have refused that one that went to Harvard because he forgot who gave him the degree. I can't use him. I have refused him because he came in with a chip on his shoulder and thought he knew something. I can't use him. Stop looking at that one that you think has some type of statute and that God won't choose you and then he'll choose that one. God said, I have refused him. He said, for the Lord seeth not as man seeth. See, the one that came in his best and came humble, came with that high school diploma and this big corporation, even though that person had some skills, though, so he knew what he was doing. He knew that he could do the job, but he didn't have the stature as Harvard man did. And so when the man came out of the office on his cell phone, man, you know that they didn't give me the job. All this hard work I done did, I spent 7 years in college. I gave them my doctorate, my master's, my BA. I told them I went to Harvard. I told them I went to Spelman. I laid it all out for them. And they didn't give me the job. So you know what that did to the one that was sitting in the waiting room? He was like, man, they ain't giving me the job. They sure ain't giving me the job. I got a high school diploma. But that one went on in there anyway because he took Jesus with him. Took Jesus with him. And he sat down and he began to talk to the man, and the man began to ask him some questions about himself. And he said, there's something different about you. There's something different about you, because that lets me know that he had the eyes. For the Lord sees not as man seeth. God had changed his vision of this person that came in. That person got up, got on his cell phone and said, I got the job! I got the job. See, God can use that person because his heart was right. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. Quit looking on the outside of people. Quit looking at each other. Let us stop looking at one another with our eyes so that we can see beyond all that other stuff. It says, for man looketh on the outward appearance. If you're driving a Jag or a Maserati, you must have it going on. Person broke is broken be. Come on, can we be real about that? Quit looking at the appearance of somebody, because you really don't know. But the Lord looketh on the heart. Do you know the most humble person you'll find is on the street corner? Do you know that God can use him quicker than he'll use somebody that just came out of the church house? Do you not know that? Because that person on the street corner, 9 times out of 10, is humble. Humble. Let us stop looking at one another with these worldly eyes. Just shut up sometimes and say, God, let me see with your eyes. Put the beat of your heart part in my heart that I may see and hear the heart of another. Sometimes you got to get to that point and stop looking at each other and tearing each other up with our eyes. Because that's what we do. First impressions, they say. First impression, as soon as I see you, I've judged you. Oh, you didn't better do it. I ain't gonna hang out with you. You're not in my stature. You're not my friend. You and I never be on the same level. That person can turn around and become your best friend. Stop missing your blessings. Stop turning away people. We got to stop. People are hurting out here today. They're hurting because everyone is looking with the worldly eyes. They're not looking beyond the faults. And they're not seeing the need. I thank God He sent somebody one day that could look beyond my prostitution. That could look beyond Van Buren, the street I was standing on. That could look beyond my stink. And saw the need that I was a broken woman. That needed someone to tell them, I love you in spite of. And Jesus died for you too. I'm grateful for that. And then He kept on sending them. And then one day, I got the memo that Jesus died for me too. Matter of fact, He died for the sinners, did He not? He died for the sinners. Ain't no why He came. So let's stop by this week on the phone or where we live near one another and let us be encouraging to one another. This is going to become the closing of the service. I thank you, Father, for allowing me to be used today. I pray that something has been said today that we can go give back to God. That we can pray for one another.